Good evening, everybody. Welcome to At Lafayette Live for Monday, October 14th, 2024. How you guys doing this evening here on a brand new week? As everybody gets loaded into the chat, how are things where you guys are? Is it cold? It's cooled off quite a bit here. It's a lot cooler today than it was yesterday. I was just saying to somebody, it's a little more fall-like today. Winter's probably a little bit of an overstatement. It's been unseasonably warm as of late, so a little bit of coolness is not a bad thing. It is indeed, after all, fall. Trying to think how far into fall we are right now. October, November, we're about a third of the way into the fall. So not quite halfway yet, but getting there. Where are you guys from? Got some of our regulars here. I know we got quite a few people that normally watch here in Lafayette and West Lafayette. Got a couple of regular people in the chat from California. I think from the San Diego area, if I'm not mistaken. Drop a chat and say hi. I know there's a couple people down in Houston and at least one in Dallas. And occasionally we get some people popping up in Florida. But, a couple of hurricanes, tracked across Florida in the last couple of weeks. So if you're watching, welcome. I hope you're doing well down there. Pretty crazy what's been going on, so I am so glad that you are here today. Well, let's give it just one more second, get everybody loaded into the chat, and we'll get going here. I'm Jeff Gooch, your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice, and if you're looking for a home here in the Lafayette area, I'd love to be your resource of choice. Please reach out. All of my contact information is right here below. Send me a message. Drop a line in the chat, send me an email, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Tell YouTube how much you enjoy all the content on our channel. All right, let's get started. So first things first, Purdue news. There's never any lack of Purdue news. Here's the headline. Purdue implements new housing reapplication process. If you've been paying attention at all to anything Purdue this year, their housing situation for on-campus students was an absolute disaster. I don't think that anybody was happy with the situation. And I mean by anybody, I mean the students, the parents, and the school. They ran into this perfect storm of a situation where there were more students than they expected that got through the application and admissions process and not enough beds to go around. So to solve this for next year, Purdue is implementing a lottery for housing for the 2025-2026 school year. They anticipate having more demand than beds available. And they guarantee space in dorms for incoming freshmen who meet the deadline to sign up for housing, of course. They think they're going to have about 8,400 beds available for returning students out of a population of approximately, sit down for this, 17,000 residents. Almost 50%. The on-campus population is going to have 986 beds that the new residence hall that's currently being built that'll be completed in the fall of 25, opening in fall of 2025 at the corner of 3rd and McCormick. But sounds like they're not necessarily adding beds to their total from this year. They're going to de-densify some of the rooms that they upped the number of student beds. Some of these rooms that were doubles, they turned into triples. Some of the triples, they turned into quads, and so on and so forth. So they're going to pull some of that, packed like sardines into some of those spaces. So here's the way it's going to work. Students can opt into the housing reapplication lottery, and they have a window to do this from October 14th until October 22nd. So the opt-in opened today, and they have about a week that they can opt in. And then they'll be notified of their status on October 28th. The university is saying that everybody that applies, everybody that opts in, that is going to have an equal chance at being selected in the lottery. Doesn't matter when you opt in, whether it's today or a week from today. And then once you've been selected in the lottery, they're going to divide the selection process up this way. Upper division students are going to choose room selection from November 1st to November 8th. And current first-year students will have room selection from November 13th to November 25th. So this will be wrapped up by the end of November. If your student really loves their roommate, they can enter the lottery as a single unit, and then they'll be weighted to not give an unfair advantage. So I guess they'll count as a unit of one. They say that the upper division students, so that's rising juniors and seniors, are going to have a higher proportion of apartment spaces available, and current first-year students are going to have a higher proportion of residence hall spaces available. I don't think that's any surprise. That seems to make sense on the face of it. And they claim that room types have been proportionally allocated based on feedback from their students. So, it's going to be impossible to make everybody happy. There's not enough beds, and the university has to have so many students to be an economically viable business. I mean, the university is not a business in any traditional sense of the word by any means, but they can't go losing money either. The funds that are allocated from the state budget don't even begin to cover the operation of the university. And there's an argument to be made about, should or shouldn't it? But universities have far outstripped the ability of states to pay for them. So it's just the reality of where we are in the year 2024. One of the big things that they had complaints about this last year through the registration process is the IT infrastructure would just fall over. It just was not scaling to deal with the capacity of students that were hitting the system all at once. So University Residence is saying that they've doubled portal capacity, they're working with their software provider, and that they're going to limit it to groups of 500 students that are open in the portal in 6-hour windows, and they're going to help to manage that load. So that's going to leave a lot of people out in the cold, as it were. And a number of people are saying they're not even going to participate in this lottery, that they're just done with University Residence and they're just going to go find alternative housing somewhere else, whether that's in an apartment or renting a house. I would suggest thinking about buying a house as an investment. We do that with students all the time. We see it. Typically, I would say there is no typical. It really depends on your length of stay at the university. If you're going to be here for a number of years, if you're a freshman or a sophomore, but you plan on doing your master's and your PhD here at Purdue University, you're going to be here for another 3, 5, 8, 10 years. That's a third of a 30-year mortgage. You should buy a house. And if you buy a house in West Lafayette, you can rent it to your friends. West Lafayette specifically has restrictions of 3 unrelated people living in one house together that's in an R1 zoned area, and a couple other zonings as well, but residential areas basically. So get yourself a 3-bedroom home and rent it out to 2 friends, and you take the third bedroom and build yourself some equity while you're here. But there are a lot of people that said they're just not going to get in the lottery, or if they're getting in the lottery, it is their backup plan and they're hoping to find something that isn't university residences. So are there any parents here in the chat that have any opinions on this? Are you here because you're interested in housing here at Purdue University for your student? I see this on social media all the time, parents talking about this sort of thing. How do you guys feel about that? Yeah? So your student so there's somebody saying here in the chat that their student got in last year, but they were one of the unlucky ones that had their dorm room capacity upped. So they weren't terribly happy about that. Yeah, I mean, if I thought I was getting a double as a college student and I wound up in a quad, that'd be pretty disappointing. I wouldn't be happy about that. The university's trying their best. I know they're making strides, but we know that this isn't going to make everybody happy. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell YouTube how much you enjoy all the content here on our channel. There are hundreds of videos about Lafayette and West Lafayette, Purdue University, all the fun things to do here in town. Great food, great shopping, home tours, all that sort of thing. Hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be notified anytime that we post a new video, which is some days multiple times a day. Purdue jumps to 32nd in global university rankings. So Purdue University has risen to 32nd place in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings. Their last ranking in this survey was 79th. So they moved up a whole lot of places. What does that really mean, though? Well, it's kind of funny. The university has definitely risen a lot in all of these surveys of the best colleges. There are tons of them out there. Once upon a time, the university used to say, we don't put any stock in that sort of stuff. That doesn't mean anything. And then they got their rankings up, and then suddenly they talked about how important it is. What does it really mean? I don't know. Something probably, but not that much. Go look it up, the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, and see for yourself what you think that means. How you guys doing out there? Enjoying the cooler weather of fall that we finally getting here in the Lafayette area? If you're here from Lafayette, put a thumbs up in the chat. Let's see how many of us are dealing with the cooler weather out there. Oh, a few people. Oh, you're in... Okay. Got somebody in the chat that's from San Diego. Tough life you lead out there. Are you enjoying the 70s and sunny while we're up here in the 60s and 50s and breezy and cool, getting dark earlier and earlier? Next up. City Bus is asking the public for input on their 5-year plan. So City Bus has a new plan called Keep City Bus Moving 2030 Initiative. And that's a mouthful, but they hosted last week a series of community conversations to talk to the people here in the community about what works for the service, what doesn't work for the people, and how things can be better. And for a small city, large town, our bus service is really pretty good. Could it be better? Absolutely. Things can always be better, right? Public transit in America in general could be better. We need more light rail. We need high-speed rail interconnecting cities. But the reality is that most cities are lucky to have bus service at a minimum, and Lafayette has City Bus, and they do a fantastic job, and they want to talk to the riders about what the future of public transit here is in the Lafayette area, because the reality is that we're bus. That's just the reality. And in the initial surveys, the riders really enjoy their drivers, but the services could be a little bit faster, could be a little bit better. They had a series of meetings, but go to the City Bus website and fill out the online survey and tell City Bus your experiences with the service. What would make public transit better here in the Lafayette area? I think it is so important. It's a quality of life issue to be able to get around quickly and efficiently in town without having to drive your own car. So don't forget, I'm Jeff Gooch, your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Hit that like and subscribe button and tell YouTube how much you enjoy tuning into @Lafayette Live every week and how much you enjoy all of the content that we push out in between @Lafayette Lives every week. I was looking for some more details on this. I drive by this all the time. Lafayette utilizes solar fields to power wastewater treatment, promoting sustainability. So the Lafayette Wastewater Treatment Facilities Plant Department renamed itself a number of years ago to Lafayette Renew, talking about the fact that they are so much more than just water recycling and how they help keep the community healthy and thriving. They've been installing a number of solar panel fields over the last couple of years, and they put out a press release this last week touting that. But I couldn't turn up any more details on exactly, like, did we just finish another field? I drive by them all the time, just over by the wastewater plant over off of Wabash Avenue. They're really, really cool to see. So there's a fun headline. There's a lot of renewable energy that's actually helping to power our wastewater treatment plant here in the Lafayette area. All right. And this is mostly informational for those that really live in the Lafayette area. I'm sorry, my friends in San Diego, this doesn't apply to you today. West Lafayette launches tree pruning initiative for health and safety. So, guys, if you're in the West Lafayette area, if you live in West Lafayette or you're driving through, for the next few weeks, about the next month, they're going to be pruning trees on public rights of way. On the week of October 11th, this week, they were starting out at the Purdue Research Foundation on Winhenschel Boulevard and McClure Avenue. Next week, starting on October 18th, they're going to be in Arbor Chase on Burnley Drive, Turnbridge Way, and Brixford Lane. On October 25th, the crews moved to the Hartford Village in the Winding Ridge area over on Aqueduct Circle and Isaiah area, in the Isaiah Street area? Street or Boulevard? I think it's Street. November 1st, they're moving over to Plaza Park, Eaton Street, Devon Street, and Cambridge Street. And finally, on November 8th, apparently they're circling back to Winhenschel Boulevard and Kent Avenue. So keep your eyes out for crews pruning trees in the West Lafayette area over the next month or so. All right. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Tell YouTube how much you enjoy our content. And if you're looking for a home here in the Lafayette area, Lafayette, West Lafayette, Purdue University, anywhere around here, please reach out. Send me a message. All of my contact information is right here. Shoot me a text message. Probably the quickest way to get a hold of me. Let me know how I can help you find home here in the Lafayette area. Today we're going to look at homes in the Greater Lafayette area that have some acreage. But before we do that, we need to define what is the Greater Lafayette area. We talk about this a lot. We don't have a lot of great language to talk about our area. So I thought that we would define the Greater Lafayette area to start with. So let's bring up a map of Indiana. See if I hit the right button here. Let's do this way. I like this one better. Here's a map of Indiana and all the counties. We're here in Tippecanoe County, right in the middle of the map, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to attempt to zoom in. Here we go. So right here in the middle, we're in Tippecanoe County. You can kind of see Lafayette right here. So Lafayette and West Lafayette are right in the middle of Tippecanoe County, roughly 10 miles tall by 10 mile wide county. But when I talk about the Greater Lafayette area, I'm kind of talk about Tippecanoe County and all of the ring counties or donut counties around it, as some might say. So to the north, we start with White County and then move over to Carroll County. Directly to Tippecanoe County's east is Clinton County. We don't do Boone County because look closely here. The Boone County northwest corner doesn't quite touch Tippecanoe County. It actually touches Montgomery and Clinton. So Boone County is definitely close to us, but I'm just geographically talking about today counties that touch Tippecanoe County. Montgomery County with Crawfordsville directly to our south. To our southwest, we have Fountain County, the home of the annual Covered Bridge Festival. To our west, we have Warren County. And to the northwest, we have Benton County. So Tippecanoe County plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other counties. So we're talking about 8 counties in total when we talk about the Greater Lafayette area. That is really what I mean when I say the Greater Lafayette area. So, 5 homes in the Greater Lafayette area that have at least 5 acres was the... I'm going to start over here, losing my train of thought. Homes in the Greater Lafayette area that have at least 5 acres is what we're going to look at today. So up first, we're going to look at a home in Lafayette, 6924 East 100 North. And we'll bring the map up first. This is really, really zoomed in. But here it is, right here. We're on 100 North. I'm going to zoom out a bit, and we'll see as we zoom out that we're a little to the east of Lafayette proper. So here's Lafayette and downtown Lafayette. We're over here, all the way to the east. 6924 East 100 North. It is three bedrooms, 2.5 baths, almost 11.6 acres. It has 2,653 square feet. So let's take a little tour here. All right, this first one, I couldn't get my normal pictures to load up in, so I've had to... There we go, that's better. Okay. So there's the front of the house. This one includes a pole barn. I mean, and calling that a pole barn is... That's so much more than a pole barn, isn't it? I mean, two bay garage doors and a separate pole barn. Great entryway with the French doors just off of the entryway leading into an office, den, music room. There's our living room, great room area. Lots of built-ins here. Heading into the kitchen. I think those are laminate floors in this kitchen. So this one's really close to Lafayette. That's really no more than about a 5 to 10 minute drive from Lafayette itself. You probably get to Meyer in about 5 minutes. Get to Purdue University in 20 minutes, depending on how traffic is. I'm going to back up a moment there. I think these windows are under the cabinets. That's really, really interesting. Look how much light that lets in. Love it. Laundry room. But what I really wanted to focus on with these is the fact that these have more than 5 acres. If you're looking for property, this is it. So as we scroll through these pictures, and there are some more built-ins, even more built-ins. You've got the built-in shelves here in the bedroom. As we scroll through these pictures, the double bay sink. Start thinking about how much this is currently listed for. That's what we always end with. I'll make a guess. Vanity in the primary bath. Not even sure that's the primary because we saw the double bay sink. And then we head out to the pole barn. I think this is in the pole barn. Yeah, look, there's the kitchen in the pole barn. So you get separate living space out in the garage / pole barn. Mother-in-law suite, extended family. Look at all that lofted storage. There is tons of storage to be had there. In-ground pool. and horse barn, rabbit barn. So there you go, 12 acres. $2,653 square feet, 6924 east, 100 north. What do you think this one's currently listed at? Put some guesses down in the chat. If you're watching later, put your guesses down in the comments and let's talk about this. All right, we got a few guesses in there. Yeah, so we got the house, we got the pole barn, we got the garage, and we got the pool. So I'll give you a hint. It's expensive for Lafayette. $890,000. What do you think? Is that a lot or a little for the money? Nice brick house, lots of pole barn storage, and you got the house. I think that's a pretty fair deal. I'm not sure that I would pay it, but I think it's a fair deal. Next up, we have loading. Next up, we have 316 East 800 North in West Lafayette. So this is just a little north of town, a little north of West Lafayette. Let's take a moment and look at the map to place it. So here we are. We're going to zoom out to place it. This is Meridian Line Road. This is actually pretty close to Battleground. Here we go. As we zoom out, we'll see Battleground's right over here. I'm going to keep zooming out. So 800 North right up here. University Farms, West Lafayette, Barberry Heights right down here. This is a 10-minute drive to West Lafayette. It might look a little far here on the map, but I assure you this is really, really close. So let's take a tour. This is 316 East 800 North in West Lafayette. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,280 square feet. It is a manufactured home, so keep that in mind. And how much land? 5 acres. This one has 5 acres, so it just met the minimum of what we were searching for here. Now, a manufactured home is not the same thing as mobile home. Manufactured home is the kind of home that comes in pieces and then is assembled by a crane, basically. So here's looking at the front. Let's go ahead and scroll through. You can really see there's a pond here, a lot of trees on the 5 acres. So you have yard and you have trees. I believe, yes, this garage is part of the property. Lots of area for fun, outdoor fun, a little bit of fishing in that pond if you so desire. Hang out with the ducks. Gravel drive, that's pretty typical out this way. Bridge over the creek or the pond. Oh, those are geese, not ducks. Okay. Lots of land. They're really, really highlighting the 5 acres here. This is pretty awesome. Let's see. Anything about what the trees are? No notes about the trees. I'm trying to see if any of these were apple trees, maybe. Here is the pole barn. 54 by 30, oversized doors, and it has electric. So if you're looking for a shop, this is for you. And then we're moving into the house. Here's the living room. Carpet, pretty typical in this style of house. Here's the dining room just off of the living room. So this is 5 acres, 20, almost 2,300 square feet. It's a 10-minute drive to West Lafayette, but you're out in the country. You can raise 4-H animals. You can have fishing in your own pond. That kitchen is not bad at all. Really kind of like that. The geese match the geese outside. I think they've probably renovated the kitchen. Let's see, do they have a note about that? 1 owner, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths. The HVAC's been updated. I don't have a note here about when the kitchen was last updated, but it looks like it might have been updated relatively recently, like in the last decade or so. And the roof is brand new, only 1 year old. This might be a heck of a deal. I might be burying the lead a little bit when I make you guess the price, but this one really is kind of a deal for the amount of square footage that you're getting, for the amount of acreage that you're getting, and what a nice condition this place is in. It's been on the market for 10 days. I bet it doesn't last too much longer. If you're looking for acreage here in the Greater Lafayette area, and we're still only a 10-minute drive from West Lafayette, it's not going to get any better than this. It's got separate shower and tub. I mean, that's quite often a feature on higher-end homes these days. So, that's the last one. I'm going to scroll back to the aerial picture. What do you think this one is selling for currently? $371,000. I'm surprised it's been on the market for 10 days. I bet it sells soon. And if you're interested in land here in the West Lafayette, Greater Lafayette area, reach out to me. Send me a text at 765-413-6190. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Tell YouTube how much you enjoy At Lafayette Live and all of our videos here on our channel. Up next, we're going to look at one a little further away, 7257 East Andrew Drive in Oxford, Indiana. So let's take a look at the map again. We have not, I don't think, looked at a home in Oxford anytime recently, at least. Here it is. You can see Big Pine Creek right through here. We'll zoom out. And here's 52. I'm going to keep zooming to show you where it is in relation to Lafayette. Keep zooming. Here we go. Here's Audubon over here to the east. Oxford over here to the west. It has an Oxford address. That's the post office. Here's Montmorency. This is where 231 tees into 52. So this is just to the west side of West Lafayette. And now I'm going to scroll the map over and you'll see. Here's the West Lafayette and Lafayette. This is a 10-minute drive in to the Meyer and Menards here on the west side of West Lafayette. So you're out in the country a little bit, but you're really not that far away. So let's take a tour. This is 7257 East Andrew Drive in Oxford, Indiana. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,925 square feet, and it is 15.58 acres. It is more than 15 acres. So this easily beats our minimum of 5 acres of property. And it's a nice looking newer home that was built in 2023. It's basically brand new. You get a brand new home and you get 15 acres. So here's the front. That's the entryway. We've got the sliding glass barn door that probably goes into an office area there, I would imagine. dining room slash office. I'm guessing that these are vinyl floors. Oh, it's the kitchen that door goes into. Most interesting. Got a great room set up. Believe that's a gas fireplace there and not wood. See if the notes say. 9-foot ceilings. Got some tray ceilings. No note about that. You can see the bedroom wing, as it were, just off of the great room area there. Interesting tray ceiling here. It steps up, but doesn't really have any molding or anything there. A dry bar over here, which is right next to the kitchen. I guess you use that as your serving, your back bar, as it were, for large dining events. You know, you can there's a light hanging out right here in the middle, which is indicative of that being a dining room area. Yeah, kind of a butler setup there. Almost a galley style kitchen with the opening on one side, of course. More in the galley style, more in the layout of how everything is in relation to each other as opposed to the actual walls of the room. Large pantry space, especially for the size of house. This house is only just under 2,000 square feet, 75 feet shy of 2,000. Yeah, I'm not sure that I love the tray ceilings with the popcorn ceiling and no trim to set it off. But that's just me. Primary suite and primary bath. Big soaking tub. So be formulating your price. What do you think that this one is going to go for? Here's the second of the two bathrooms. Another bedroom. Here's the back porch, covered back porch. I mean, covered in that they've actually like notched room out of the house. And the way the lots are actually set up is like the house is on its own lot, and then there are two other lots that are separate from the house lot. I think we're going to see that here in a second. Here we go. So I think what we're looking at is the front lot is 5 acres, and then this back lot with the horse pasture, which is allowed, is probably about 10 acres or so. There's the aerial view. So a little bit of neighborhood living, but you still get acreage. So kind of a best of both worlds situation. Yeah, look at that pasture from the back. So we're coming up on the end here. You got the creek as part of your border. What do you think that this one is going for? 7257 East Andrew Drive in Oxford. About a 10, maybe 15-minute drive from the west side, from Meyer and from Menards. 2,000 square feet, only a year old. About 15.5 acres. What do you guys think this one is going for? The answer is $495,000. So not exactly cheap, not exactly expensive, somewhere solidly in between. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell YouTube how much you enjoy all of our content here on the channel. If you enjoy At Lafayette Live, make sure you hit the bell icon to be notified every time that we post new content, which is all the time about things here in the Greater Lafayette area. Interesting home tours, neighborhood tours, driving tours, great restaurants to eat at, just all sorts of great stuff about the Greater Lafayette area. Our final home for the evening, 345 West 600 South in Chalmers. This might be one of the more distant locations that we've looked at recently. So let's put this one in context for where it is. So here's the map. It's just to the west of Chalmers. And where is Chalmers, do you say? Well, let's zoom out and see. It's actually just a little north of Lafayette. As we zoom out, we'll see Monticello comes in here, so it's to the southwest of Monticello. Here's Brookston, 43 becomes River Road once you get past 65. So here we go. Chalmers is a straight shot down 43 River Road into West Lafayette. So this is kind of the ultimate in country living, but still close to town. It's about 20 minutes from the university, from Purdue University to Brookston. So probably another 5 to 10 minutes to Chalmers. So you're probably looking at 25, 30 minutes from Purdue University to Chalmers. And there's hardly ever any traffic going that way. So it's not like you're going to be sitting in tons of traffic like you would in Chicago. This one is... All right, let's take a tour. Let's get this set up. We are looking at 345 West 600 South in Chalmers. It is 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,856 square feet, so a little under 2,000 square feet, and 5.07 acres. So it just touches the minimum of the 5 acres that we're looking at today. And here's a slightly aerial view, and we can see the house and the hay bales around it, and there's some greenhouses back there. But let's take a tour around the house. There's the front view. This one has been on the market a little bit longer. It's been on the market for about 39 days, so about 5.5 weeks or so. You know, things that are a little further outside of town do take a little bit longer to sell. There are only so many people that want to buy a house in Chalmers. It's a great place to live, but there are just less people there by definition. So, the 2 large greenhouses and a small orchard are part of the parcel. The property boundary is lined with trees. The primary suite is on the main floor with heated floors. And then upstairs, 2 more bedrooms. I'm trying to see what year it was built. 1998. So it's only about 26 years old. Here's the attached garage. Little potter's shed out back. This land is all part and parcel of the house. So you can raise your own hay. And if you have 2 barrels, you have hay. Yes, I know that was funny. All right, moving inside, here's the living room, bright and airy. Again, the tray ceiling with the popcorn ceilings. That's not something we see too often. Popcorn ceilings and tray ceilings put together, but okay. I like the arches over the windows, and the window treatments really work well with the room. This interior design is quite lovely. I think that might be real wood floors. I can't tell if those are vinyl planks or real wood. Let's go check it out. Send me a message and let's go look together. Get you pre-approved and get yourself 5 acres and 2,000 square feet. Kitchen. Kitchen's kind of in a nook, but it's still attached to the living room. I kind of like that setup. What do you guys think about that? Where the kitchen is part of the great room, but it's still like its own room at the same time. There are some of these great rooms I look at where the kitchen and the living room are all the same room and there's no separation between the two. And so, you know, how does that work if you want to watch a movie and somebody needs to cook, or vice versa? Stairs going up, like the entryway. Little landing up at the top. They have set up as a little sitting area for kids, it looks like. Jack and Jill bedrooms. They have the double connecting doors. There's the dining room back downstairs. I think the dining room might have been added on later, the way it kind of hangs out off of the house, which might be why the kitchen kind of feels the way that it does. I like that. I mean, in the spring or fall, you can open all those windows of that door and eat outside and inside at the same time. I think this is the primary suite. They said it was on the main floor. And then this is one of the seconds upstairs. You can see those doors to the left that connect the two of them. Don't have a double sink. You kind of have the built-in vanity in the upstairs. And it's got the, I was going to say it's a sliding door, or I don't think there is this door there that separates the water closet from the sink. Maybe there is. It's a little hard to tell. Big soaking tub down in the primary. Now, that is a window, plain and clear, over the tub. Definitely close those blinds. Laundry room. The obligatory twilight shot to show all the glowing lights and warm glowing windows and beautiful green grass. So here's the floor plan. Here's the foyer. Yep, the breakfast nook and the kitchen. Yeah, I have a feeling this dining room was probably tacked on later, and then this had a slightly different configuration. Oh, there is a half bath. Laundry and primary suite bathroom and walk-in closet on the main floor. And then going up to the second floor. Coming up, you got the hall, bathroom, and 2 bedrooms, and open to below. So there you go. That is 345 West 600 South in Chalmers, just about, say, 20 to 30 minutes north of West Lafayette, 1,856 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. Okay, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. 5 acres. How much? How much do you think this one is? It is $385,000. In the year 2024, that is really not a bad price for 5 acres and a house in such great condition. So if you're interested in some acreage here in the Greater Lafayette area, give me a call, send me a text. All of my contact information is right here. You can load the QR code and have everything appear magically in your phone. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that YouTube knows how much you enjoy At Lafayette Live and all of the content here on the channel. Hit that bell icon to be notified every time that we post new content. And we're posting new content all the time. You should go check out our library of videos about Lafayette, West Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, the Greater Lafayette area, home tours, At Lafayette Lives, what we think are the best restaurants here in the area, playgrounds that my kids enjoy, all sorts of fun things here in the Greater Lafayette area. And if you're looking for a home here in the Lafayette area, I'm Jeff Gooch, and I'd love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Please reach out to me. Go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube and fill out the form and let me know how I can help you find home here in the Greater Lafayette area. Well, that's going to wrap it up for At Lafayette Live this week. Make sure you tune in again next Monday at 7 o'clock for At Lafayette Live. You guys enjoy the rest of your week.